Now we can move on to... Ah, I see. I recognize both these names. Alrighty. What specifically were you asking? Focus on scrambles. Small break. Okay, we'll not try and focus on drops, etc. Just... I got you. I understand what that's like. First and foremost, this is a really aggressive round start. I would not recommend going for it. And I am talking solely about the Clyde, because calling DP assist full screen basically doesn't matter. So this is just about the same as just a raw Clyde round start, and it is incredibly risky. First and foremost. For a little mixy, flushed up. Relying on brass to get ourselves out of the corner. Good push block bait. Mixing. Unfortunate drop. Okay, resume neutral. We missed one of the buttons. Okay, yeah, you were trying to get Stinger. You knew. Reload. Go for the mix. Get parried. Unfortunate. Gets caught. Okay. Not saying, like... So far, from what I've seen, the scrambles seem mostly just to turn into leapfrog scenarios. Extending into the assist, getting hit by the same side mid. Really sucks because now Annie's also losing the health. Good block. You chicken blocked it, so you could have gotten a better punish, but it's not that. It's not the end of the world. You still got the hit. Cross up SSJ. Rip. Unfortunate. And yeah, dead. Okay. Trying to figure out why neutral is going the way it is. Good block. A little bit late on the push block, now absolute guard. Text back into the corner. A little sketchy. Expecting the throw. That bins. No confirmed though. We are up backing a lot. Expecting a mash, patient, and then just getting jabbed. Whoa! Lots of spaghetti. Running into the DP. Loving arms of beat extend. Not quite confirm. Dealing with the assist, not protecting your own assist. Yeah, so you should probably just almost always be firing a gun here. That's what you tried, yeah. Just misinput jab. Late push block. Good push block for the multi-hit. Heavy counter hit. Yeah, that was kind of no mix. No super. Okay, try and find a way to get banned in. They are mashing a lot, and it seems to be catching you pretty off guard. And I mean, you did a fair job respecting it earlier. It's just, you don't seem to expect them to do it again. We still had OTG, right? So, if you're not gonna do level 3 route afterwards, which I don't think it's worth it, I would rather just take the OTG here, because you get a sliding knockdown off that brass. And so you can just play Oki, try and bait out a mash that's probably coming. Instead, we were going just for extra damage that I don't think would have killed. And even more unfortunately, it drops for you and then just ends the game. Not quite, but yeah. These games don't feel super scrambly to me. I don't know if I'm just like have a different definition of it from you, but it feels a little bit like we're kind of just getting out neutral. But played a little bit of hopscotch, missed our buttons. Don't know if that was supposed to mix. I like the burst bait, trying to catch them mashing. Their throw. Caught pressing. We cannot be calling our brass this much when it's bleeding. Especially when they have an amazing counter call assist. It hasn't played the game and it's dead. This is a punish, yep. Yep. They swap teams on you. What are you doing versus the pain wheel? Do we know? Okay, so we're aware Avery is a good tool, we're just doing it into brass. Yep, but you can play pretty campy with Avery. No. Unfortunately missing the confirm. Guns will not accomplish all that much in this matchup. Really good anti-air. 2 HP is a very solid one. You have 3 bar to just get yourself out of here. This is a good punish though. I think I would much rather Pillar of Creation combo into mix here. Because by committing to this, you are resuming neutral rather than staying at advantage. It would be a different story if you were killing by doing that. But you were not close. Oh yeah, and once again, we don't seem to be aware how close to death our assists are. Second game in a row, we've killed them by calling them at way too low HP. Full screen brass, never really the move. It's really committal rather. Chip out. Didn't expect that to always chip out, so committing the extra bar, not really the worst thing in the world. Calling your assist at that low life is incredibly risky. Because you spend that bar, you do all of that work to save the character, and then you just throw them away anyway. So the question is it worth spending the bar in that case to then let the character die regardless? They're slightly different scenarios, but like it's a very expensive loss. Well, we're playing an entirely different team now. Okay. It is Valentine, so jumping as much is not as big of a sin. Raw bypasses. Pretty egregious though. Grounded raw bypass is even worse. You gotta get these out of your system. There's a time and a place for callouts with them, but doing them with any amount of frequency, unless you have a plan to bail out afterwards, like BBP does, and even then, one could argue it's a bad plan for BBP. Did this desync? What is going on? This is an actual... Yeah, this isn't... Like, what? This is not right. Just want to make sure. Okay, yeah. No, I'm just going for the next replay and hope it's just. Okay. Normal neutral. A thing to talk about when talking about Valentine neutral is you have a lot of air mobility options. One of the best things to do is to use them reactively. So by consistently limiting yourself to instantly double jumping, you no longer have the double jump tool for later. And I'm not gonna say, like, by any means never double jump. Changing the heights of your tosses is pretty important, but think about why you're using the movement tools you are and if they can be of better use later. Good confirm. Fortunate drop. Good chicken block. Hit the assist with that. I don't know if we wanted to use our syringe or vial. Okay. Gets caught with the jab. Getting mixed. Oh, I was looking at that one. That's... sorry. Okay, we're stuck in the corner. Level 3. Cheeky mix, unfortunate drop. Do you know the mid-screen assist skill? Nope. I don't remember off the top of my head what it is, but something to look to. It's not super important, but if you're feeling like learning something someday, that's probably one of the things that is worth learning. A thing to put in your mind, if you want to get extra height, you can also just super jump. You don't need to spend the double jump. So super jumping, if you're trying to get extra height, is also a very strong tool. Super jumps have other properties in this game as well, but just in general, try and throw it in a couple places. Get used to the input. It's a very useful tool. Good for the mash, don't get punished. You might have been expecting to hit the ground. I will just say, if you're in the air, the usual go-to is mashing scalpels instead. We are jumping so much. Did this desync? Is this actual gameplay? Still kind of looks like it. Okay, yeah, that was just a little bit funky looking for a second. Getting pot, up high, down low. Baited into mashing again. For zoning. Committed a little bit too long to the zoning. Ground beams are really dangerous in this way. They're a lot more committal than air beams are. And so that's why you usually see robos tend to default to air beams. And then at this spacing already is kind of where you're starting to think about, I have nowhere else to run. I don't have time to be beaming. I need to find my way out. And so that then goes into the robo game plan of just, am I super jump heavy kick out of here? Am I sprinting under them? Which option are they trying to take away from me? So that's sort of what you're thinking here, not I need to get another beam out. Because you don't have time for that. This is the danger zone for robo. A little bit weird confirm. Level 1 into level 1. Actually, I should just... Yeah, messed up game, but unfortunate. Had the right idea. Also, something I don't see in your zoning all that much. Jump heavy punch is a really good thing to be throwing out in the air. Because it's exactly like Peacock stand heavy punch, where it's an extra projectile in the zoning, yeah, like that. So it's, yep, there you go. Super caught in the corner, decides to get herself out. Did it a little bit late and then didn't quite get all the way out, unfortunately, but right idea. That's Fortune 101. Or Robo Fortune 101, rather. How much space did you have? I think you're far enough away from bite. One thing to always consider versus Eliza is, or Sekhmet rather, is do you have enough space to get away with level 3ing them? Because level 3 is a ton of damage. Beam also is a lot of damage, but it doesn't keep you anywhere near as safe. They usually can actually run into you and punish afterwards. Whereas your level 3 will just lock them in place, make them unable to react to anything, and you can walk up sweep them, walk up throw them, walk up snap them. You have all of those options. And they usually just can't respond because they're locked into the like armor delay that Sekhmet gets when it's getting hit by all those multi-hits. Mash out, no punish. Level 3 to try and secure neutral. You got the hit. Keep in mind time. Do you have enough time to go for full on Dizzy and kill? Do you need to be mixing? Drain on Dizzy for the next character? Not quite a confirm. You are not the life leader yet. Try and find a way to get there. Punish. You had the right idea, just unfortunately not quite enough time. Really good that you were aware of it though. Got our way out of the corner. Up back into the hairball. Back again. So we did super jump there. Anti-aired. PBGC in to get hit. Run away. You gotta be trying to find your way out of the corner pretty shortly. Yep, you don't have time anymore. You seem to be waiting a little bit too long to try and bail as Robo. Just running away. Normal zoning. Probably would argue you're committing to sending H-beam a little bit too much. It's the riskiest option she can go for, period. Oh! Do not run towards the skeleton. Like, yes, you can sweep it, but you also don't really have a reason to. And so you can just hold your advancing sweep until they're running at you. You can also just wait for them to get close enough and snap, because Robo Snap is pretty large. That caught them. You could have picked up off of that, I'm pretty sure. But, yep, you don't want to be in this range. Although, this is like minus 40. You have all the time in the world to press. If they go through all of the cots, you have all the time in the world to punish. This is a free hit. But resume zoning. For Elizas that really like doing this, your sweep's just better. If you expect them to boat, you can change up the pace of the game, move forward, press 2 medium kick and win. Because you have a massive forward moving disjoint. And none of this that Eliza's doing is disjointed. Mix. Bye-bye cremation. Stick him in the corner. You're running forward. Very brave, very bold. But it works. Very good awareness. I don't know if you've tried learning the heads double snap. It's a good thing to just try and do. You only need 3, and then you can go back into what you know. More resources is always a good thing. Yeah, the Horus is going to be an overhead. Once you start recognizing that and chicken blocking it, blocking it, it's your turn afterwards, it's minus. But if you start chicken blocking, it's punishably minus. Please tell me you're trying to throw here. No reason to be jabbing Sekhmet. Also, at this point, sorry, I'm not pressing the pause button, my brain. Beam super it. It takes completely unscaled damage. Completely unscaled damage. It destroys Sekhmet. Oh, unfortunate drop. for the chip out now. Won't quite really be enough. Honestly, I think it probably would have worked better for you there to do beam, force them to block it, and then DHC into scalpels. And then you can start threatening scalpels chip out as well. I'm pretty sure that would have resulted in a lot more overall chip damage using like 4 level 1s rather than just a level 3. Very aggressive round start. Gets the hit. No meter needed. You know. Cheeky incoming. Blocks. Really good blocks. Do they know? They might have, just not quite fast enough. Yeah, committing to standing beams a lot. What is going on here? Kind of just whiffed a lot of things in your face. They weren't close enough for you to be threatened by all of that much, so it's probably a place for you to just beam instead. Unfortunate drop. Getting caught for pressing saw a little bit too much. Just burst. I wouldn't really recommend doing this. Because it's not unpunishable. It also puts you really close to her when you can kind of afford to play full screen. Oh, one final chance. Level 3. Does this have hit stop? I need to look this up. Because you might have just given them a chance to win the game here. If it's not hitting them instantly, I'm pretty sure they can react, which means she can just caught you here and win. Which is, I'm assuming, not something you wanted. Oh no. TP! TP! Okay, so that Eliza super is only invuln for the startup. You can clip her with just about anything when she starts traveling. And your DP is seriously invuln. So you can get away with just doing that, and then you would have closed out the game if you needed with supers afterwards. Very jump heavy neutral again. That was strange, but got you the hit. Good throw. Nixie. Death. Yep. Ground beams are really scary. Squiggly had her charge and just yelled at you, no, this is not allowed. How did you get caught? Yeah, you're trying to do too much in the corner. Like, this is find your way out, not trying to like double jump back on top of them. It's like never fighting back can also get you in the same pitfalls. But I would definitely want to encourage you to like be thinking about making it your default response to just get yourself out of danger. And then if they're starting to do really egregious callouts, like really trying to get you jumping out or sprinting out under them, that's when you start landing on them with a button that you know is going to catch them off guard. Because otherwise, oftentimes your buttons kind of just lose. Robo needs to be pretty deliberate with when she's choosing to contest things. Unless it's Sweep. Sweep is like her one really good god button for the most part. Good job. Drop your meshing. I think we do somewhat consistently throw away the vials, which isn't ideal. Can work on getting a little bit more consistent with just the cross-tossing. Instead of doing this, I'm pretty sure you can just EKG here. EKG, DHC. Should have been a dead character. Give them one last chance at life. Get them with the throw. Level 3. Okay, yeah, that is the end of it. So I don't know if I was just missing things or if we have different definitions of scrambles. Those didn't feel super scrambly heavy games. The little bit I saw was also just true of all of your neutral, which was you really like to jump. Um, and for the most part, Skullgirls kind of lets you do that. But if you do it as consistently as you have been doing it, you will start really getting caught. And so the things to be thinking about during a scramble are there's 2 or 3 things to be thinking about. There's one, just default good fast buttons. I don't think I necessarily saw you like tech into jab or anything, or just hold your ground and press jab. 6-frame buttons are the fastest in the game for most characters. And so just choosing your fastest option and praying to get a hit is typically a pretty good option in scrambles. Obviously, once scrambles get a little bit more spacing oriented, different buttons come into play, and that kind of just comes down to split-second decision making, or just pattern recognition and habits at that point. Because scrambles, usually you're not thinking all that much during them. Usually those are things that are just like happening. Oh crap, I got hit. Although, the things you want to be thinking about during scrambles are what worked or didn't work last time. And so this is where you get into the rock, paper, scissors of scrambles, where, for example, if I noticed you were consistently jumping, whether it's up backing or neutral jumping, I know I can either try and catch you with a low because you're very likely to be up backing. I can jab and try and catch you up forwarding, which I think, like, you didn't get caught for up forwarding a lot, but I'm pretty sure I saw what I like to call like leapfrog. I probably called it hopscotch at one point too, or you're just jumping, and you kind of just jump circles around each other. Saw that a fair bit, especially towards the beginning with double. That becomes a problem once it becomes as predictable as it was. So you can start getting called out. And then on the flip side, that's what you can be thinking about too. It's like, what has been happening in these scrambles? Has it been going even? Has it been going well? Or is it something I can abuse? And so you notice the patterns of what's been happening in scrambles, and then you try and really be actively thinking in your head, next time X situation happens, I want to be doing this. And so you're already primed to go, oh crap, we're scrambling. I'm pretty sure, and by the time you're thinking, oh crap, we're scrambling, you have it in the forefront of your mind to go, I am doing this. And so that just becomes your natural response. And so it's like, for me, if I'm playing you, they're going to up forward. And so I should jab them. And so we go, all of a sudden a scramble happens and I'm just pressing jab. I'm like mashing the crap out of it. And more often than not, it would work. And then obviously, if we're like playing the back and forth game, you go, they're just pressing a lot of buttons and scrambles. I'm going to start mashing. And then so I start getting hit by mashes, and then I go, okay, they're mashing a lot. I will just press nothing. And then I'll block it, you'll get counter hit, and then it kind of just cycles, because then it's like, if they're going to do nothing, then I can jab. And then it's like, if they're jabbing... And so that's kind of where a lot of the mind games for fighting games come in, especially in scrambles. But you are trying to have strong default responses that you can mix up, as well as being adaptable and trying to figure out the best answer and like weigh the probability of what they're going to do in the scramble the most. And that is one of the hardest things to do, because the scramble is, again, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's chaos. So it's really hard to, in the moment, drastically change what you're doing, because it's like your panic response. It is what you are doing. And so that is an incredibly hard thing to rewire. But yeah, so that's kind of the gist of that. I talked about the character specific stuffs when they were on it, so no major point going through that. And then all of your characters like to jump a lot. I'm just going to keep reiterating this because you do it a ton. Some of your characters have phenomenal grounded buttons, others have alright grounded buttons, but if you keep jumping as much as you are, you will get caught for it. So think about staying a little bit more grounded. Think about what your grounded options are. Some of your characters have some pretty good ones. Like, double has phenomenal grounded options. She also has decent air options, but they need to be spaced more so than the ground ones do. Oh, everything double does needs to be spaced more or less, but that's not the point. Robo Sweep is a really strong ground button. Valentine, her low is alright. Stand Heavy Punch and Stand Heavy Kick have their moments to shine. They're pretty large buttons on the ground. Just etc. Just figure out what those options are for your character. I didn't have anything else I really wanted to think about. Your meter expenditure was questionable, but I talked through what I would rather see in the moment. So again, just go back and check that. I think that's all I have to say for you. And again, if I didn't address anything you wanted me to, please just shoot me a ping. I will gladly revisit the VoD and try and answer whatever questions you might have.